I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video I will introduce you to the steps required for sketching graph of trigonometric function. So we begin with a very simple example. It is sketch graph of y equals to 2 cos of theta plus 30 degrees plus 3. So we have a lot of parameters here. One, we have vertical stretch by a factor of 2, horizontal translation 30 units, 30 degrees to left, and translation of 3 units up, right? Now basically the cos theta graph is kind of like this. Let me just draw an axis and show you how it is. So basically cos theta is like this. So keep that in mind while sketching. So it's kind of important to understand that that's the basic cos function which we need to sketch. Now we'll follow a couple of approaches to sketch this function. One of the very popular and important approach is to consider key points. When we say key points, we are talking about these 5 points. Do you see that? The maximum, minimums, and the zeros within one cycle, and one cycle for cos is from 0 to 2 pi, correct? So the key points for us are 0, 0, that's the first point. Then we have 90 degrees. Okay, let's redo it, right? The 0, 1 is your key point. Let me write 1 here, minus 1 here. Let me minus 1. Okay. So the key points are, at 0 we have 1. It starts with the maximum always. For 90 degrees we have 0. And then for 180 degrees we'll have minus 1. And then for 270 degrees the value is 0, and for 360 degrees it is maximum 1. So these are the key values which we should always consider when sketching cosine function. So let me call them as x and y. When we transform a function, these points get transformed, we get their image. So the image points will be what? Image will be, the x values will move 30 degrees to left, so we'll have x minus 30 degrees, right? The y values get multiplied by 2, so 2y plus 3. So that becomes the transformation for the points which we are considering, right? So completing this table helps us to get the transformed points, which when plotted on a graph paper will give you the graph of this function, right? So you get ready with your graph paper and then do the needful. So you can do all this calculation and figure out. So let's do it once quickly. So what I do is I just go with the x values first. Let's take away 30 and write down all x values. So we get minus 30 degrees. And if you take away 30, you get 60 degrees. Take away 30, 150 degrees. Quick ways of doing it, right? I know it's kind of a shortcut. So anyway, but very effective. Now for the y points, we'll do the calculation. Multiply by 2, add 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 0 plus 3 is 3. Minus 1 means minus 2 plus 3 is 1. 0 will give us 3 again. And 1 times 2 plus 3 is 5. Right? So that is a set of points. When you draw these set of points, you get your cosine graph. So that will give you very accurate cosine graph, a very suggested, recommended method to do. Right? So this is first method. Now let's look into another method, which is what you do really is that you on your graph paper, we'll plot the x and y axis. Since there is a translation moving up, I'm making x-axis slightly down. This is my x-axis where I'll write theta. The y-axis is the name of the function, the y values. Correct? Now here what we are given is that we have x is at 3. So let's take these units 1, 2, 3. So at 3 we have the axis, so we'll draw a dotted line. Perfect. Amplitude 2, so we get 1, 2. I'm just drawing some dotted lines saying my maximum should be on this and minimum will be 2 units below. That is the minimum for us, right? Now, with that, I can actually sketch my first draft, which I say a function. Now I'll sketch 2 cos theta plus 3. So what I'm doing here is I'm sketching these parts, but not incorporating the phase shift, which I'll do in the later case. So what I do here is I sketch my cosine function. Is that okay? So that is the cosine function like this, which has taken care of all these stretches and vertical transformation, which is unit 3 moving up, right? So we have 3 here plus 2, which is 5, minus 2, which is 1. You get the point, right? And of course these points for us will be from 0 to 360, and this at here will be 180 degrees, correct? And this will be 90, and this will be 270. Perfect. Now what we will do, and that is critical, sketch the function, which we have y equals to 2 cos of theta plus 30 degrees plus 3. That means we have to move it 30 degrees to left. 30 means 90 is divided into 3 portions, right? So this small bit is 30. So we'll move every point 30 units left. Do you see that? Do you get it? Now we just combine them. Do you see? So that is your final graph. And of course it ends up 30 units before. So let me write this point as 330 degrees, and the starting value is minus 30 degrees. Do you get the graph? So that is how you can sketch this graph without any calculations. That is what I'm trying to stress here, right? With very, very accurate same results, right? So when you do it on your graph paper, you can very easily get it, just as I got it. I recommend this method for you. Calculations is always good, but you can take time and make a mistake in these calculations. But here, it is very simple. So those of you who like this method should go for it. When the functions are very complicated, it is really handy to know this method and sketch it. I hope you understand and appreciate it. Go through some of more videos of mine to understand this and master this technique. That will help you. Thank you and all the best.